What's going on, y'all boys? It's Clip Gang or Don't Bang here. And, I've had the chance to watch, quite a few Laker games this year. And just for, like, scouting purposes and stuff and seeing how that fit would work because it was a questionable fit before the season even started and bringing in all these guys and Westbrook and all them. So, being I have watched quite a few Laker games this year, think I'm allowed to talk upon and speculate on why they are just playing like trash. So it is obviously a disappointing product what they got on the floor right now. It's bad defense, little effort, no shooting besides Wayne Ellington, Malik Monk, and Carmelo, which, those aren't even like premier shooters. None of those players could hold a candle to, a guy like Luke Kennard, which, and he's not even like one of our, star players, honestly. Like, he's just like a 3-point specialist. But they treat those guys like they're supposed to be stars. And, it's just overall a bad fit, man. Like, you got Westbrook. He can't shoot, of course. The only shot he can make is the bank mid-range, which is a pretty ugly shot. But, it works for him sometimes, I guess. But he's a high turnover machine. He's going to get you his numbers. Usually he's going to get you his almost triple-double. But it doesn't equate to winning basketball. LeBron, he's playing well for the most part, but a lot of it's, empty stats because Lakers have been getting blown out. Fourth quarter is big, like tonight versus Spurs. The Spurs, they blowed them out in the first quarter, and then they really poured it on in the fourth. And, the Clippers, they lost to the Spurs as well, but we're also missing, Kawhi, a top 5 player in the league, and PG just came back off the elbow injury. And we're missing Marcus Morris Sr. as well. And I actually didn't watch that game versus Spurs. But, it's just, it's a terrible product what we see on the floor for the Lakers. The problem is that they have almost zero trade pieces. I hear Laker fans saying that they should trade THT for Miles Turner or Sabonis. It's like, man, you got to be a special type of delusional to think THT is worth anything more than a heavily protected first-round pick. No, forget that. A second-round pick swap. I mean, the Lakers, they hype their guys up like they're the second coming of Jordan or something. I really don't get it. It's funny. It just shows how little they watch the games. What's next? Austin Reeves, he's gonna be the next Bruce Bowen or something. Like, it's kind of funny. Caruso, they hyped him up like that, but he's actually a really solid role player. At first I wasn't buying into hype, but, he's actually pretty solid out there on the Bulls. But what's happening for the Lakers, too, is that, a bad free throw shooting team, plus bad defense, plus, subpar shooters, including LeBron. He's a career below average 3-point shooter. And, just a little effort and motor from these older guys, which results in a losing basketball club. And, part of it rests on LeBron's shoulders, which is the reason why I don't see him leaving the Lakers. I mean, don't get me wrong, it wouldn't surprise me because, he's known for team hopping to create or join super teams, of course. But the blame rests on his shoulders. The blood is on Bron's hands because he brought in Westbrook. He brought in all these guys with big names, veterans with big names. His little buddies, he brings in his buddies and ships out the young core. And, the Lakers roster is, how should I put this? It's made like a third grader did a fantasy draft on NBA 2K and just picked all the big name players, past their prime or not. You know what I mean? You got like Dwight Howard, DeAndre Jordan, Carmelo, just Rondo, a bunch of guys like that. It's just like a bunch of has-beens. And, they're not going to play any defense, you know what I mean? Because they can't keep up with these young guys who are running up and down the court. You know what I mean? So they're just, they have some decisions to make, and they don't have many tradable pieces, except, I don't know, Anthony Davis, and maybe a realistic trade for THT, but they're not going to get Miles Turner or Sabonis or any of those guys, because a lot of other clubs can beat out a trade, can beat out any of the Lakers trades, so there's no point. Let GM, that's what they call LeBron. He's gonna have to throw on a shiny suit and walk into the front office and, make some decisions. Or he's just gonna have to live with them, and then the Lakers either barely make the play-in, or, they, at this rate, they're not even gonna make the playoffs. But man, like, it's just crazy, man. It's funny to see. It's honestly satisfying to see as well, coming from the outside looking in from a Clippers fan perspective, because LeBron's teammates that he handpicks are, it's backfiring on him. And can you only imagine if MJ handpicked his teammates and jumped ship whenever things went south? Man, this dude would have 13 rings. 88 Jordan, man, he would blow the Spurs team out by 25, and he would be resting in the fourth quarter. Like, I don't get all these debates, man, but it's just funny. It's kind of like the new era of basketball fans, these younger kids. But hey, I'd be really disappointed if I was a Lakers fan right now, because it's just not good at all. And in the future, they're going to be in a lottery for another 10 years, like 2011 to 2019. Because, they're only going to be left with, like, a 30-year-old AD once LeBron retires. Of course, he's going to be even more injury-prone. They're going to have, like, Mac McClung, THT, who's, like, barely above average, Malik Monk. Like, what other young guys do they got, man? Like, a lot of teams, they can take notes on the implosion of this Lakers team. Like, imagine if the Clippers shipped out their young stars, or their young core, and they turned into stars like Brandon Boston, Scrub, Preston, Keon. Like, they shipped them out for another superstar, a third one, who's on the tail end of his prime, just a year or two rental. Sure, you can maybe win one ring, maybe two if you're lucky. I don't know, but I'd rather build a dynasty. This is the point that Clip K74 drives in. He drives this point home a lot, and it does make sense, because I'd rather be homegrown. I don't know how the Lakers fans, how they build any type of connection or proud of just seeing like a new roster every couple seasons or 2 seasons. Like, I'd rather just be homegrown. You have young guys who come out and put more effort on the floor, like we see from our young guys. It's just when you have that youth, man, they just put more effort out on the floor, and they really want to prove themselves. That's not what you see from the Lakers. They have too many egos, too many past their prime superstars, and it's just not good. Anyways, though, I can ramble on forever, so just comment down below what you think. I'm going to wrap it up right here. And, I'm going to just sign out. Enjoy the rest of your night or day whenever you're watching this. Clippers got a little break until their next game, until, days after Christmas. So they should be rested up and, ready to go on a little winning streak. Even though, we have some tough games coming up, but it's cool. It's cool. Gotta stay positive. Yeah, anyways, Clip Gang or Don't Bang signing out. Take it easy, guys. Peace.